Welcome to Live Life Better. This is Scott Eastwood. I want you to live the best version of your life. We're all human beings, all just trying to figure it out. Find something you love and chase it. Today, we talked to my friend, Stefan Mckellar, who's got a CBD company. I know what you're thinking. Everybody's got a CBD company now, right? Well, this one seems like it's pretty cool. It's called NanoCraft. And we hear about why CBD is so good. Now, I am no expert, but it seems like it's helpful. I've used the pain balm. It really helped, actually. And it's a plant. It's good. There's got to be some benefits involved in this whole thing. So check it out and let me know what you think.
Great Scott.
I'm actually a little hungover.
Me too. Well, I can't believe you woke up that early, dude.
I did.
I stayed in bed as long as possible, and even I came back to the hotel room and I was just like taking it all in because it was like a celebration. Like there was one point last night where I just like threw my hands up. I don't know if you saw it. And I was just like, yes, just
That's
like
true.
just like 3 years of hard work and just like to be able to hang out with friends and have my investor there and sick music and it was just almost like a celebration of just everything.
It was a really fun night.
I'm not kidding. That was the most fun I've ever had at a restaurant or a club or anything in LA.
In LA, definitely.
So that was incredible. That one guy floored me. He
was a really good singer. Really good singer. We went to this place, for people who don't live in LA or don't know what we're talking about, we went to Delilah's for jazz night, which is every Sunday. Our buddy Buster set us up with a table, and that place was epic. It was awesome. It was really cool to see a place like that, like kind of come back. I've been always hoping that like we all get away from, especially like in LA, like get away from this club garbage,
100%.
And it shifts back to real performers, real entertainment. So it's just, I don't know, it just feels more real and authentic. It doesn't feel so.
It does. And to be able to connect with a singer. I remember last night I was sitting at the table having a drink and this guy started singing, I don't know, it was like opera or something. Mm-hmm. And literally I stopped in my track. I turned around and I was like, what the heck is that? And so I did like a little somersault roll, and that's when I went over to the front table. Yeah. And I just was completely, I was just admiring this guy so much. It was like one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life. Like no question.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good.
And I saw everyone, just the whole place just stopped and stared at him.
Yeah. And he only did one song and then just dropped the mic and left.
He literally dropped the mic and was like, peace out. And I was like, wait, I want more. Yeah. I want more. I was such a groupie. It was pretty funny.
It was pretty good.
Oh man, last night. And then leaving the club, you might still be a little mad. So the parking lot's blocked, right? And so we can't pull the car around back because Scott went around back, so the paparazzi didn't. I'm like, come on, let's just go. We're even sitting here, everyone's in the car. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. And I'm like, no, Scott, you don't understand. I'm like, they hide in bushes. They will like pop out of a Jack Daniels bottle. And he's like, dude, you're being an asshole. Like, you're holding up the whole car.
Well, the car was waiting, and we weren't getting any progress, so it wasn't our car. And then all of a sudden, so I'm like, "Come on, Scott." He's like, "Okay, fine." So he gets out, and all of a sudden, it's just like, "Pat, pat, 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 pat." And I thought the guy who owns the car, he wasn't even in the car yet. So I thought we were going to get in and go, which would have been fine. Yeah. But the fact that he wasn't in the car, we just sat there like, oh God, that was my bad. If we were to have taken off right away, I felt like it would have been okay.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
You can handle it,
Yeah. It was a little weird.
There are worse things in life than being famous, I would say.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah. You make a strong point. Yeah, I got up early this morning and went surfing. I find that if you just do it, if you stay in bed all day, you just feel more like shit. It's
like a downward spiral. It definitely is. But I felt like after doing the trade show all week, and I was just like, I'm going to allot myself one day to just kind of chill. Because when you're talking, and I'm sure you can relate, when you're around all this energy and all these people walking back and forth, conversing, there's a lot of energies shifting, and it's exhausting.
It takes it out of you.
It's exhausting, regardless of drinking or going out. Just the actual energy of talking to people and connecting takes it out. So sure. I've felt it before with trade shows, but
because you're either giving energy, right? You're like, hey, you're putting yourself out there, and then someone else is taking that and and then eventually you have nothing left. You're like, I'm out. Someone's got to give me energy. Someone's got to inspire me, or bring it back the other way.
Exactly. And it was our first trade show, so being one of the owners of the company, it was like, this is my baby. This is 3 years of hard work. This is everything that I've worked for, and this is our first time showcasing it. So it's like everything needs to be perfect.
Tell us what the trade show was first, and what your company is.
Okay, so the trade show is called the Fit Expo, and I think there's a few of them around the country, but this one's like one of the coolest shows that I've been to.
It was amazing, actually.
Like, I think there was 100,000 people that attended. Like, one of the best consumer shows I've ever been to. Lots of energy, lots of fun, and we decided to kind of work out our marketing calendar this year, and that was the first stop. And we wanted to kind of do a launch there, and had all of our friends, and it was a great turnout. It was awesome.
And your company?
My company is NanoCraft CBD. And this company, gosh, I've been working on this for a few years now. And
it took how many years to because you're in the market now.
I'm in the market.
You're selling CBD.
I'm selling CBD, yeah.
Which is actually, it's a really good product. I actually use it. Actually, do you have any of the pain stuff right here right now?
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and give me $20.
No, I mean, my neck's been killing me. Is it in your bag?
I just have the full spectrum drops right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
everything else left in the van. But no, it was for those of you who don't know what CBD is, it's an extract from the hemp plant. And I've been studying this for a long time, aside from just the business venture, on what CBD does and the benefits that it has. I've been so passionate about learning more and more about it. And the thing is, there's been so many regulations, and it's been...
So wait, it's been regulated before now? Like, it was... I'm confused because now marijuana is legal, right?
Well, no, it's not legal. I mean, you can have certain permits, certain states allow marijuana, but federally it's not legal.
Federally it's not legal.
Yeah.
But it was... CBD was in that category?
It was a gray area. So here's the thing. CBD is a compound by itself. It can be derived from the marijuana plant or the hemp plant. Either way, it's CBD. It's not going to get you high regardless. So it's illegal if it comes from the cannabis plant, even though it's still CBD. If it comes from the hemp plant, it's not legal. Or sorry, it's not illegal. So it's really confusing, and it has been very confusing for everybody. And the main thing is just uneducation. Because I mean, hemp has been around for forever. This is the main crop of our founding fathers was hemp. I think the 1935 $10 bill was actually made out of hemp, and it was actually in the back of the bill. Yeah.
Wow.
So it only got taken over by cotton because it was cheaper to produce.
It's cheaper to produce cotton.
At the time,
really?
Yeah. So that's how it kind of faded out, was because of that. But aside from CBD, I mean, hemp has, multiple properties. They use it for building materials. Yeah. I mean, it's a great, and it's a sustainable plant. Growing marijuana is not really sustainable. It takes a lot of electricity, a lot of sources, whereas hemp is just, the more you grow, the more it actually fertilizes the soil, and it's a sustainable product. So there's multiple benefits of it. Got it.
Now, because of all these CBD companies popping up, is it harder and harder to get CBD now?
I don't know. No. I mean, as far as the actual...
Yeah, I mean, like you as a company owner, right?
Yes and no. For us, it's really important to get top-tier products, quality, and have very consistent product. Mm-hmm. So you do have a lot of people popping up, and there's zero regulations right now. So the problem is you have these companies coming in, slapping labels on just crap products.
Or not even CBD, probably.
A lot of times it's not even CBD. So a lot of people are confused because hemp seed oil has been around forever. You can buy that in grocery stores. Right, and that's legal. So you can go to the grocery store right now and people cook with it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people put hemp seed oil in their bottle, especially on Amazon, and they'll sell it as CBD or hemp. So they'll kind of mislead the user because it's way cheaper to produce.
Sure. So in your product, I mean, I know there's probably a variety of different things in each SKU, in each product you offer, but do you mix it? Like just the plain CBD? Is it just all liquid if it's CBD?
Well, there's a couple different forms of CBD. There's isolated CBD, which is CBD by itself, and that's an isolated crystal. And then there's the full spectrum compound of the plant, which has added terpenes in the product. So there's been studies on both sides, because originally they thought, well, CBD in its purest form is the most effective. And some people do like that as an option. But what they have found is that there's something called the entourage effect, which basically adds in the additional terpenes of the plant and has been an added benefit of the CBD oil. So we offer both products. So the legal thing is, even trace amounts of THC is good. It's not enough to get you high, so it's non-psychoactive. But just having that trace amount is actually beneficial and can help a lot of people.
So who regulates it now? Is it FDA?
No, the FDA has not regulated. It was regulated with the DEA. So when the DEA regulated it, it was basically a Schedule 1 drug. And the reason why it didn't make any sense was just uneducation. A lot of people just think it's the same as marijuana.
Sure.
Like I tell them CBD, oh, you're in the marijuana game. Like people's reaction, and it's just uneducation. So it's interesting.
So
do you get THC with a hemp-derived CBD product, or is that only a cannabis-derived?
No, so you can have trace amounts of THC, so 0.03%. So a lot of the strains that are being created now are considered medicinal hemp. So they're more phytocannabinoid rich and they have more terpenes. So they're actually being bred to be specific for ingestion rather than just building materials. So there are different qualities of hemp, and that's what's important also. So.
Got it. So certain, like, you're saying when it's bred, it looks more like a marijuana plant?
It kind of does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And that will that typically have more THC in those plants, or?
Well, no matter what, you have to have, if for some reason that plant does have higher concentrations, then you can't use it. But a lot of different companies and, our farm, we're able to take out the THC by itself, but it still have the additional terpenes. So you can actually isolate the THC, take it out.
Interesting. Have you been where is this farm?
It's in Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
And is it run by, it sounds so scientific when we talk about, like, on a molecular level. Like, how do people do that?
Well, so there's different extraction processes. So, so basically it's farmed, it's cultivated, and then it's CO2 extracted. And then from there you have the distillate, and you have different forms. And from there you can keep distilling it, and there's a lot of different processes. And that's what kind of makes products unique is the process after that. So some companies use the raw materials, but sometimes I don't think that's as beneficial because of the extra chlorophyll. But once it's distilled, then you can kind of have it in whatever form you want. And so that's where the science comes into play. And, a lot of studies are being done right now. Like as we speak, there's probably 100 different studies being done.
On CBD?
On CBD. And just to give you an example of one, like there was one in Jerusalem's actually in Israel is one of the leading research countries for CBD, and they did a study for autistic children on autism and found an 80% success rate in their study with utilization of CBD. And that's just one aspect of it. Obviously, it's, there's actually one FDA approved product, and obviously it's a big pharma looking product and big pharma owned. It's called Epidiolex, and that's specific for seizures. So that's the first one to ever be approved by the FDA. But there's propaganda,
really?
there's things involved, and when everyone says big pharma kind of runs everything, that's pretty much the truth,
right?
Yeah.
And what is big pharma? How do they? Are they seeing, like, are you guys gaining market share pretty quickly? In the whole space in general, as far as what people are used to, just I'm going to take painkillers for, are we seeing the shift?
The shift is happening right now, like literally right now. I've seen this, and I've kind of predicted this for 3 years, and it's funny, I've kind of made videos along the way to kind of track where we are and what I think is going to happen, and like to the T, it's happening right now. And so to give you an example, last year I think it was like a $690 million year in the industry for CBD. It's estimated to be $22 billion by 2022. So that's one of the fastest growing industries, period.
Wow.
So it's here, and Trump just signed the 2018 Farm Bill in December. So now there's absolute zero regulation nationally for CBD on the federal level. The only people that can come in and regulate now is going to be the FDA, but they haven't done anything quite yet.
Okay.
So you can't make, even though there's so many benefits, and we know in their studies, you can't say, oh, this CBD is for pain, or this CBD is for this. And when you ingest it, you can't make claims if it's not backed by the FDA.
Got it.
So you got to be very careful on your wording.
Oh, okay. Because it seems just in general, right? Like supplements, it's like, how do we fucking know? how do we know what we're taking? You know, like you get like, oh, I want vitamin C. Okay, you know, I got to boost my immune system. I want, you know, fish oil. I want this. I want that. It's like, and you know, you can hear what people say is a good brand.
Yeah.
But how do we know? You know, I mean, you in this case, you've been to the farm, right? You see where you make it, and you know, you get it, but. I don't know. It seems like it's such the Wild West.
It is the Wild West, and what's going to differentiate companies? Like for us, we third-party test every single one of our products. So there's no product that we do not test. So that's how we know. And not only do we test it, we actually post the results on the website of that actual batch, so you can see this is exactly what's in here. They test for pesticides, metals, but you know everything's organic, no pesticide-free. And if something tests bad, then hey, guess what? That's gone. And I've actually had to turn away a batch before where it's like, okay, this isn't quite what we want, and making sure things are consistent. So everything's tested.
Oh, okay.
It's not required.
Sure.
There's zero regulation, but we like to do that because I think it's important, especially during this time, that people have a good experience with a brand that's completely transparent with what they're doing.
Yeah.
So hemp derived, you can sell nationwide.
Yes.
Cool.
Can you smoke CBD?
You can vape it. We don't sell vape products because, you know, we really associate it with health and fitness and, you know, general well-being. And for me, I don't see too much health benefit to vaping something.
Yeah. Putting moisture in your lungs.
Moisture in your lungs. And so I really want to stay really healthy because I'm passionate about health. I mean, we surf, we work out. To me, that's one of my biggest passions in my life is staying fit, staying healthy. And I know for you too.
Yeah.
So, and especially since this is a new industry and really disassociating, like CBD is not the same as weed. Guess what? This not only is it not the same, but this is part of your general wellness routine every single day. This can be an added vitamin. This can be an added, you know, you don't have to be in severe pain or severe anxiety to use this. This is something that is beneficial to everybody because they found actual receptors in your body that activate when you take CBD.
What is the best way, or what's, I guess, you know, what are the different ways it's absorbed, and like what are the more, is it, you know, topically, orally, what are the most ways it's absorbed?
Well, as of now, about 39% of the market share is tinctures, drops. So essentially, you take the drops, you put it sublingually under your tongue, and you let it kind of soak in for about 20 seconds, and then that's how you take it. So that's the most popular form of taking it.
Why is that? Is that because in your, like underneath your tongue, you just absorb quicker?
Yeah, exactly.
Right into the bloodstream, or?
Exactly. That's exactly it. And then aside from that, topicals is the second biggest, you tried our topicals. So, yeah. And that stuff works so well as an anti-inflammatory, and that's more like an as-needed basis. You know, I hurt my ankle last week, and I put that on overnight, and I feel an immediate relief. Yeah. You know, especially the next day. Like I was actually really surprised because, you know, I take my products every day, but sometimes if you don't have a severe pain, you know, it's kind of like, how do you measure?
Sure.
You know, especially for people that are taking CBD, they're expecting something. So you don't sometimes you don't even feel anything, but that's the point. The point is, you know, the general wellness of your body, like it's been scientifically proven to help your body.
Yeah, I put it on my back.
Yeah.
At the trade show, and it felt really good.
Really, you want me to put it on your back after the podcast?
Thanks for that.
Then you can
lovely.
Finally change your shirt.
Yeah. I've sweat through the shirt like 5 times and it's re-dried.
Well, it's funny when I first saw you yesterday, what I said, I'm like, man, I really like that shirt, Scott. Where'd you get it? Wait, was this like 2 days ago? This was 2 days ago. Literally haven't changed, but
we might have done a little drinking last night.
Yeah.
We had a little balance, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sometimes you got to go big.
Sometimes you got to go big. Yeah. You got to plan ahead.
You do have to plan ahead.
Especially getting older now.
So let's start with you, man. Like, what inspired you to do this like 3 years ago? Like, did you take CBD once and you're like, this is amazing? What happened?
So it's kind of interesting. So I lived, you know, before this, I had my luxury luggage company. I was living in LA, pursuing that, and I couldn't describe it other than something was missing. I didn't know that I felt fulfilled with what I was doing.
Making the luggage.
I mean, I know that I love to create things, but I just felt like LA it wasn't for me. Yeah. You know, we're very active guys, and you know, going to surf or going to the gym like took forever, and I just kind of felt a little bit trapped. So that being said, I moved down to San Diego, and I found it. You know, it's not really the hub to pursue a luxury luggage company. Sure. You know, something just didn't feel right, and so I kind of, you know, I put my heart and soul into that company, and you know, to drop it was a hard decision. And so now I'm sitting in San Diego, and I'm, you know, trying to figure out what am I going to do. And you know, obviously the the marijuana market, the marijuana market, that's obviously something that's massive, but I don't like the association with getting high. Not that I'm opposed to it in any way. Like I said, we're both really, healthy and fit. So I started researching CBD and like, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
And the more I heard about it, I'm like, wow, I think I want to do this. My passions and my vision is to help and impact as many people as possible. Obviously I want to be successful in what I do. And it kind of hits all the check marks, it supports general wellness, and we also incorporate the give back. Every dollar or every product sold, we donate $1 to a couple different kids organizations for less fortunate children. So that's a huge aspect for us. And I think you've seen some of the videos I've done where we take these homeless children on like little buses.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Pizza parties.
I didn't get invited, but it was cool.
Yeah, well, you were wearing that shirt.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It would make me feel good to do something I know that is like providing a value, right? Providing service and a value. Like I see so many like we know like fair amount of people who are in business, and they're in business just to sort of take, right?
Exactly.
Take, and it's like you're not offering anything. You're not like bringing value to society. And I don't think everyone I know who's in business, who is in the taking business, aren't happy.
No,
they're not happy.
No.
Like no matter how much money they make, they're like, I'm depressed. I don't like my life, and it's like, well, it's because you're not like doing something to give back. You're like,
well, because people
they're out of line of
associate
purpose, like you were saying with luggage.
People associate happiness with money, and that's the problem. Is happiness doesn't come with money. It comes with self-fulfillment. It comes with living your purpose. And without living your purpose, no matter what it is you do, think about all these people that commit suicide, or all these people are like, wait a minute, I thought that was the most successful person I know. Like they had all this money. It's not what drives me at all. And I realize that because, well, number one, I haven't even made any money on it yet, but I'm okay. Like I don't care about that. Like yes, I do care in the sense that that's part of, I get to have that and I deserve to have that because I'm working hard for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not what drives me. So without having that purpose, and checking all those boxes, like I love waking up every day and working on this. Like I absolutely love it. And be able to see the reaction on the kids' faces, to be able to see like help these professional athletes and get these reviews that we get on a daily basis. Like literally this product changed my life. I just got off opiates and I stopped taking Ambien every night. I get these reviews on a daily basis.
that's so cool.
So
opiates are so trash.
They're so bad, and that's the thing. And we're talking about earlier, like how do you tell something's good or bad? Well, we develop trust in those that we consider. We trust doctors. I think that's kind of, you go there, you write a prescription. Oh, this must be good. My doctor's prescribing it. But that going back to big pharma, and there's a lot of money in that business. That business is one of the biggest businesses in the entire world.
Yeah.
And so, really being able to help people and to see that reaction is like priceless. It's absolutely priceless. We got some pro surfers now. We're going to build, I like to say that our company is essentially going to be like the Nike of CBD. Like we want to be in every sport, and we want to promote general wellness. We take pride in our quality and our branding. And I think that's what separates us.
What does NanoCraft mean?
It's just a cool name.
That works.
Well, that's one
great.
part of it. Nano is the technology that we use in our oils. So basically, we take the actual product and we break it down up to 200 times smaller. So your body is actually able to absorb more. So a lot of products we take, like if you're taking multivitamins, your body can only absorb so much. So the idea behind nanotechnology is that when it gets broken down, it's way more effective and you can use less of it.
Okay.
So that's one. And craft, like we like to craft our own products. So, crafting CBD is CBD.
CBD. So where'd you start your life?
I was born and raised in La Jolla, California. My favorite place in the entire world. I was very fortunate to grow up there. And I went back and forth. My dad at the time lived in Florida in Palm Springs, so I would do a lot of traveling back and forth. And that's where I started my life. And I've lived other spots, and I've traveled the world, and I've done so many amazing things. And I always just love coming back there.
What did you do before your luggage company?
I worked in the sewer pipelining business. So my stepdad had a company. So I used to literally wear a hard hat every day, wake up about 4:30 in the morning and go lay pipe.
laying pipe.
Yeah, except it wasn't as glamorous as it sounds. I literally would climb down. There's actually a video of me on YouTube. I think it's still there. It's like, and the title is "Covered in Crap."
No
and
way.
It's me. So you'd have to go in
See
these.
if you can find it, Tim.
You'd have to go in these you have to go in these manholes, and so you climb down or get. You'd have a harness on you and get lowered down. And a lot of these sewer lines have a lot of flow, and by sewer I mean what's in sewer?
Shit pipes. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So you block these things up. You put a plug in them. And I was down there a couple times where this the plugs actually blew. And so imagine like a waterfall of water coming at you, like all over your face, all over your body. I remember getting out of the hole and everyone looked at me. They're like, Stefan, go ahead and take the rest of the day off. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so disgusting.
Where was this? Where were you doing this?
Well,
is this it right here?
Oh my God, that's it, yeah.
Oh my God.
So they're right in my Tyvek suit. But that's actually not the worst one. The worst one was I didn't have a Tyvek suit on, and the manhole was about 15 feet down. And so I was utilizing this technology, and if I were to have gone up with leaving all the equipment down, we would have lost probably like $200,000 in equipment. So I had to stay down while I'm getting splashed in the face with all this stuff to finish the job, and I was like, ugh. So yeah, I was in the sewer. I mean, look at that flow right there.
Oh man.
It's gnarly. And so these things would actually fill all the way up, so you could actually get sucked down there. It's pretty gnarly.
So how long did you do this for?
I did that for like 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know you told me this. But I didn't know you do it for 8 years.
Well, it's actually a great technology. Rather than dig up the pipes,
Sure.
you just reline them. And so we use this UV cured technology. And after going down there myself, I became a trainer. So I went around the world and trained different companies and contractors on how to use this robotic equipment. So the actual technology is extremely advanced.
Really?
Yeah.
So is this a company that you just got hired from? How does one get into lining sewer pipes?
My stepdad's from Germany, and he's an engineer, and he came here and brought the technology. He's one of the first people to bring it over. And my family invested some money into the company, and that's how it started. So it was more like a family operation, and it was a way at the time, like, okay, this is to make extra money. I was young, and it was interesting, but I knew it wasn't my passion.
Yeah.
I mean, going to this trade show or going to a plumber trade show, it's a little bit of a difference. I mean, you get these guys wearing full camel coat. Hey, what do you do here? Like just like these complete hicks, which I love.
Yeah.
But it was just like all men and plumbers. So
Yeah. It wasn't that at the Fit Expo.
no, there's definitely some fit behinds there.
There was
Oh my goodness.
some very nice butts.
Yeah. So that aspect of it, I love.
Is the fitness angle of CBD just growing and growing, or how? I mean, obviously you were into that, and that was your motivation and inspiration. But
Yeah. I mean,
typically it's talked about as pain and things like that, but fitness seems to be a newer kind of angle.
Well, like I said before, I wanted to target something that I'm passionate about. So there's so many angles here. I mean, you could literally say it's for everything because it's for general wellness. I mean, I own the second largest CBD group on Facebook in the world, and through that I'm able to get data from people. So I have a test, I have a poll, like, what do you take CBD for? 101 ailments. Now some of them are really weird and I don't even know what they are, but the top one's pain, inflammation, anxiety, insomnia, stress. So there's a lot of different angles to it, but ultimately every person can benefit from this. So for athletes, the idea is, when we train hard, I mean, it's being sore sucks. It hurts.
Yeah.
Or if you get injured, and like, what do you do for recovery? Well, you don't really want to take some painkillers. I mean, that's not. So this is a healthy option that promotes that. And our pro surfers, like, they absolutely love it. And on top of that, here's another angle that we're going as well, is we're going to partner with an ex-Navy SEAL. He was in the military for 15 years. I mean, his stories are incredible. And he literally goes, CBD saved my life. My psychologist, and this guy just told me, I just lost 2 friends this month, 2 SEALs that committed suicide. He goes, the PTSD is real. This is no joke. And my doctor and my psychologist recommended CBD, and after taking it, changed my life. So he's so passionate about it. So I want to do a military line just for military. We can give back to military organizations and make it a lot more affordable for them as well to support them. But to hear someone like that say, this changed my life, for a guy who's like, he couldn't tell me everything that he did, but 15 years, he's been to Iraq, all these places, shipped out, I think 6 times. That's what drives me, those kind of stories, or the messages I get from all these people. It's just that part or this when you see the videos online of kids seizuring, and they take a drop of CBD, all of a sudden they stop.
That's crazy.
That's
how do you deny that?
Yeah.
And it's an all natural solution. It's not like, oh my gosh,
They tried to deny it for a long fucking time.
I know. Well, here's the thing, and this is kind of a cool stat, and I don't know if I'm exactly accurate on this, but around the 20s, I think like 6% of medications actually all had cannabis in it, and it wasn't until all the propaganda coming out like devil's lettuce, etc., because there was an issue with the Mexican immigrants coming in and providing marijuana, and so it was actually really popular, and that was a way for them to kind of halt that. And so all the propaganda said weed is bad, marijuana is bad, etc. But it's been used in medicine for thousands of years. I mean, you can go back and do research on this.
Yeah.
So it's not like a new thing. It's just society and the way they drive people. That's why one of the reasons why I don't like watching the news. I just I know
you told me that the other day, and I found that really fascinating. Actually, I mean, there's a part of me that just loved it because you said, and I'm going to misquote you, but you said, I don't watch the news, and because of that, I'm never affected by anything.
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate in my life. I think we're all pretty lucky here. And what I mean by that is, I'm affected by things that I hear negatively, right? Schools, that shit devastates me. And to hear that kind of stuff, it affects my mood, affects the way I think. And it's not that I don't think the awareness is important. I think that I'm trying to think of one thing in my life that has been affected. If I didn't know what was going on in current events in the world, one thing that has really affected me. I can't, directly me and my family, I can't think of one thing. So a lot of these times we see these things happening around the world, and everyone wants to hear the negative news. I want to start a station called Positive News and say, what's going on in the world today? All positive things. That's how I want to start my day. Not that, hey, there's a new murderer that lives 2 blocks down the street who's raping children. And that seems what happens all the time.
Yeah. When it's all misinformation and propaganda and just a bunch of bullshit. Well, They're all repeating the same narrative over and over and over.
Bullshit.
And it's fear-based.
Fear-based 100%.
And it's not like I want to be it's not there. Pretend it's not there. I understand it's there, but I know what my mission is, and that's to help others and to make a positive impact in the world with what I do. And so it's important to keep in that mindset. And I think that there's certain distractions in life, and am I more effective in a right mindset or a wrong mindset, or something that's negative? And I think the first one's the better option for me.
I like that. I mean, I feel like that's what we try to do here. We're just trying about just being positive. Because it's what you eat, it's what you do, it's what you think. It all starts with thinking, like you said, and everything you do. You wake up in the morning, it's like, how am I gonna think about my day? How am I gonna think about my future?
Exactly, and I'm no perfect by any means. I mean, there's time. I mean, I mess up on a daily basis, and it's just a matter of catching yourself and realizing that I beat myself up over everything. I can't do this good enough, or there's a lot of self-talk going on in there. So for me, it's still even a challenge on a daily basis, even though all these great things are happening. It's like, I can always do more. I can always do better. And to actually stop and recognize, and being proud of yourself and of your accomplishments, and to really, I think people are so hard on themselves, especially now.
Yeah, we all are.
It's like, I don't have this in my bank account. And they associate that with worthiness,
Yeah.
So it's really kind of making an impact and just doing my best with that.
I mean, you're like the spokesperson for our show right now, man. It's
well, I mean, and that's why I said, I make mistakes. I'm not an angel. I mess up.
No one is.
But ultimately, I know my intentions and my heart are good, and I want to do good. And everyone does the best that they can with the tools that they have. Yeah. And that's why, even though it's easy to judge others, but a lot of people don't have the tools to know any different.
No, they don't.
And that's, in society today, providing tools and emotional intelligence in school, there's so many different things that we can improve on. And I've never been a big school guy. I love education, but the actual process of the cookie cutter, and it's like, okay, this is how you're going to live your life, and that's definitely not us.
Yeah. It seems like schools. Well, it also seems like schools too, that's the way that we went to school,
When we went to school.
When we went.
Enough to graduate.
Yeah. Maybe not all of us. Maybe not all of us.
It feels like it's just archaic. It just needs to be, more practical. It needs to be, we know. What kid can sit in a classroom for 8 flipping hours without going crazy, right? It's like, you got so much energy and, as a growing kid. And then also it just seems like they just do this sort of the same mundane shit over and over again instead of really training people in a really great trade, like promoting kids and people to like figure out what they love early on in life and what they're good at, and giving them like more skill sets to do those things.
100%. And I feel like if, when I have children, like, I don't want to do a cookie cutter thing. I don't know if I had to homeschool, but I mean, I'm talking like specialized, awesome stuff. Like live it up, like do whatever you want to do, live your dreams. And I think being taught that at a young age, and I think a good example of like the school system and things is technology. Technology develops on almost a weekly, daily basis, right? So things are coming out. And as a business, it's an example of, like your grandparents, well, I'm not going to use a computer. I'm not going to use this phone.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. That's the mentality, I think, that leaves people behind, because for me, I'm always up with the cutting edge technology, the new phones, because I think it's important to see where everything's going. And, I think the school system, I mean, to be able to make a decision like, well, guys, we just found this out today, so let's change this next week kind of deal, where it's like adapting to the times and the new research that's being done.
Yeah.
I really like that thought process more of like keeping up with the times and the technology and utilizing different things. And I think we should get more conscious space in, with the environment. I think that sitting, having a classroom full of people sitting there, I think can be way more productive doing other things that not only help them learn, but also help the environment as well.
Yeah.
So figuring out different ways to do that. I think there's market there for sure.
Yeah.
But, just like anything, it takes action and time. And I think especially with children, it's hard to really make those kind of decisions.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't really know.
Well,
I do know that I have the iPhone 8 now that you're busting my chops, because I'm not up on the latest iPhone.
Well, yeah, my Face ID can open up 0.35 seconds faster than yours, so.
Sweet.
I just
Love that.
No, I mean, I'm not, I was just using that as an example.
No, but yeah. But it is, you either adapt or die.
Yeah.
And, so people get, they get lost in the mix, and they just start.
Yeah, in business, I think it's a great example of this is Blockbuster, right?
Sure.
So like Netflix came in, Blockbuster's out of business. Blockbuster was the staple. Like going to Blockbuster as a kid and picking out some candy in a movie, that was like the highlight of my day.
Yep.
And for them to not see it coming, and not more importantly, to know that it's there and to not adapt, that's what happens. It's a perfect example.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
If they had seen it, they would have been the market leader. I mean, they would have been the online market leader, and that would have been that. It would have been Blockbuster.
Exactly.
Not Netflix.
They had 100% of the market share.
Yeah, it would have been so easy.
It's crazy now. So it's just life's awesome. It's cool. There's so many different things out there, and it's just, I think, my passion in my life is to be successful. What's my definition of success? Waking up every single day, doing whatever I want, with whoever I want, whenever I want. So I think I saw that from Tony Robbins. And I was like, wow, that's exactly how I want to live my life. I want to wake up every day and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I think that more people get to do that. And it's not always easy. Yes, you may have to sacrifice certain things, but ultimately I think life can be a lot better than it is for a lot of people. And to hear those stories and things, and it's just like, geez, like, come on, wake up.
Shaky baby syndrome.
Shake them.
Yeah. Definitely. It starts with that positive thinking and getting out and like being healthy, so you feel good first. I think you have to be selfish with yourself first.
Yeah, I don't think that's selfish, because how many people can you help when you're sick? Nobody.
No, you can't.
You always put yourself first, and your health. I think that's the most important thing in this world is your health, because I mean, I remember when I got, when you get injuries, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty much worthless. Not worthless, but you know what I mean? Like when you hurt your ankle, it's like, dang it restricts you from doing everything that you love. So I think health should be the number one priority in everyone's life, because what can you do when you're dying? What can you do when you're dead? I mean, I don't know.
No.
I don't want to find out soon.
So what's NanoCraft Kids about?
So NanoCraft Kids was what we talked about earlier, is that $1 from every product sold we donate to kids organizations. So we're working out with two, the Malleola Foundation and Child Hunger Sucks. And I want to give a shout out to Ever Matson. This girl is 9 years old, and she's on a mission to feed homeless children, and she's the most inspiring little girl that I've ever seen in my life, and I'm doing everything I can to support her.
That's awesome.
And she, if you follow her Instagram, at Child Hunger Sucks, you can see everything that she does.
Pull her up, Tim?
Yeah.
It's incredible what she does. She's so inspiring, and she speaks at different expos and business conferences, and there's pictures with her and like Gary Vee and all these people. But she is Like,
Oh, wow.
I'm so passionate
Adorable.
about helping this little girl. And so if any of you want to support Child Hunger Sucks, she is just amazing, and she's the cutest little girl. And ever since a little kid, she told her dad, she goes, I want to help children. Like, I want to help homeless children. She didn't understand why they couldn't live the way she did.
Wow.
And, you know, in going downtown and just down the street, you know, these homeless children are living on the streets. Like, you can actually go visit their block, and they're living with their parents. And seeing them on the school bus and seeing how excited they are for just the smallest little things. And it's just, it's cool. I love supporting this girl, and we're going to continue to support different organizations and do different things, partnerships such as with the military or cancer and different things to support different organizations.
This is where you met her when you went on the bus. I saw you went recently.
Oh yeah. So we my company
Took her down
sponsored it. We took the money, we donated money to pay for the bus and pizza party. We took him to the Hotel Del, had him walk around, look at the Christmas tree.
Oh, that's cool.
We got a group picture. We did a karaoke contest where the winner got, I think, $100, and we passed out pizza in the bus. We all sang, we danced. It was cool, and it was just like, it's things like that inspire me, and I think that sometimes people, the best way to get out of a funk, in my mind, is reaching out to somebody and doing something nice. And sometimes if I'm getting anxious or if I'm feeling down on myself, like, try how easy this is. Help someone, call someone, tell them you love them, or do something that is not about you. And you'll find, like, at least for me, that helps. Like, in the car ride, I was telling you I was getting a little anxiety from going out last night. And I just remember I just called my sister. Trying to call as many family members and just kind of said hi and just wanted to connect. And sometimes, you know, that's all it takes.
Everybody's superpower. You can just give positive energy anytime.
It's a flow. It's a give and take, and the more you give, the more you receive.
Yeah.
It's like yin and yang. Like, there's not one without the other. And, you know, just like we talked about, you know, the people that have it all and yet they have nothing, because if you don't have your self-worth, or, you know, you don't feel good about yourself, what else is there?
It's true.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, cool, man. That's a lot of informative information. I'm really happy. It sounds like your company's doing awesome and growing, you know, really quickly. And I think you guys are doing it right. You're like the Red Bull or Nike of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to do it. Not that it's right or wrong, but
yeah.
I mean, every detail is thought of, and if there's something we can improve, we're actively wanting to do that. So
cool.
That's my commitment with NanoCraft CBD, is making sure that we're always committed to making the best product and providing the best service and everything that we can.
It's cool.
So
it's a freaking awesome story, man. Tim, any other questions you got?
That's it, buddy. I
That's
like it,
man. That was awesome.
The universe knows you're trying good things. You know?
yes,
Feeling the positive flow.
Yeah.
I like it.
let's do this. Thanks,
right,
guys.
Cool, buddy.
Bye.
Simply